Hi guys, Top Pops here, and today is the day we are finally going to see Spider-Man No Way Home, so let's get started! And now this is one of those movies that I've been waiting on for a long time. I got my tickets as soon as they were available. I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks ago now, and I could not be more excited about it. And I'll be honest with you guys, the tickets aren't in the greatest spot. It's like right by the front on the far left, but I don't even care because I got them for like this ultra, or what was it, laser ultra theater where like the seats are huge. I mean, just look at this photo here. It's crazy. And I don't know what I'm more excited about, the seats or the actual movie, and I guess I'll see you in a couple hours before it starts. And now everybody, it is a couple hours later and we have made it to the theater, so let's go watch Spider-Man No Way Home!
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
And just like that, everybody, the movie is done. And look at this theater. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. And let's go back to the office and we'll talk about the entire thing.
Alright everybody, so we are now back from Spider-Man No Way Home, and I just want to say that movie was amazing! And you guys know that I've been reviewing movies on the channel for a while, and I would say out of the ones that I've reviewed, I've thoroughly enjoyed all of them, but this one really went above and beyond. And if you're still here and don't want to hear any spoilers, I'll give you till this time runs out as like a second warning, and once it does run out, that's when the spoilers are happening. 2, 1, Aunt May dies. I warned you. But in all seriousness though, guys, let's get into the review, and I do want to talk about a bunch of stuff, actually so much stuff that I wrote it down on my laptop. It's funny, guys, the first thing I wrote down here in my notes was I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Well, I mean, I did, it's just why would I write it down? And I think the main thing that everybody's curious about is who was actually in the film, because there was a lot of speculation before it came out, and I would say that most of it's true. And I guess we'll start with the villains, because there was a lot of them. We had Lizard, Green Goblin, I've got them written down here, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, and Electro, like a lot of them. And the way that Marvel incorporated them into the film seemed really natural. Like, it didn't seem like it was forced. They kind of just showed up as the movie went along, and I really did like that. And I thought it was really neat that at the beginning of the film, Spider-Man wanted to actually help all the villains so that way they wouldn't die when they went back to their universes, and it made a pretty interesting plot for the film. And of course, it didn't go very well because they are villains. They turned on Spider-Man, but I did still enjoy it, especially because that was pretty much the bulk of the film. And the other speculation that a lot of people had was the other Spider-Man were going to be coming back to fight all of the villains together. And if you're here to just find out if they were in the film and you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't want to tell you exactly how it happened because it was pretty interesting, but I guess I'll give you guys a bit of a hint. And even though there was so many crazy things that happened with the amount of characters in the film, they still had time to add the heartwarming as well as sad moments that you would expect in a film like this. And there were two pretty significant ones that I want to touch upon. One of them being, of course, that Aunt May passed away, and I did think it was kind of interesting that in all three of these Spider-Man, I guess you could say trilogies, somebody important passed away in their lives. And the other one that I wanted to mention was when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man actually caught MJ falling off a building, and I thought it was really neat that they added that to the movie. Oh, and something that I didn't catch myself, but my brother did let me know, was that Green Goblin mentioned that he's somewhat of a scientist himself, which is a nod back to the original film that he was in. And if you guys are wondering how this movie ended, it was a giant battle scene on the Statue of Liberty with all of the Spider-Men and all of the villains. Oh, and also, the two end credit scenes were really great as well. There was the first one, like right after the movie had ended, it was about Venom and how he's probably going to be in the next film, and the one later on, after the credits had finished, it seemed to be almost like a trailer for Doctor Strange, which I thought was really great, and I'm so excited to see what those are going to be. But now that we've gone through the entire film, let's pull out the Funko Pops that have released so far, and let's talk a little bit more about them. And the nice thing is about this movie is that I was able to get every single one of the Funko Pops that were available so far, besides one of them, because it was I believe a 10-inch version of this Spider-Man right here, but at least I still have the suit. And so if you guys want to check out all of the figures, here they are right here. We've got the Spider-Man integrated suit, Spider-Man black and gold suit. We also have the upgraded suit, Ned, MJ, and then of course, Doctor Strange. And I guess we can start with the Doctor Strange, just because there is a bunch going on here, and one of them that I did find kind of interesting is that he's holding a shovel here, and you do see him in the trailer, kind of like in this snowy house, but you don't actually see him ever holding a shovel, and I don't believe he does hold a shovel in the film, so I thought it was kind of interesting that Funko did add this to the character. And from my experience, there are two big things that could have probably happened. One of them being Funko just wanted to differentiate this figure from all of the other Doctor Strange ones, or maybe there was a clip in the film originally where he was actually shoveling, or at least holding a shovel, and then Marvel just cut it out of the film because it was too long or whatever, and they said that they could keep it because a shovel's not that big of a deal. And that does remind me of another figure, which is the Hulk busting out of the Hulkbuster, and that never happens in the movie, but Marvel approved it. And then I guess the next two we'll talk about is Ned and MJ, because there really isn't too much going on with these ones. We've gotten a Ned and MJ figure in the past, and I remember a little while ago I was talking about, I don't really know their outfits, but we'll find out in the movie, but it's literally just what they wear to school. And actually pretty much what they wear throughout the entire film. Like Ned is pretty much wearing that jacket the entire time, and then MJ, I feel like she wears this more towards the beginning, and I feel like they just used these outfits because these are the ones that were in the trailer. And I still think that these ones do look really great, and I'm hoping that they do make more Ned and MJ figures in the future, maybe them with the box that they're actually holding. And actually, you know, now that I think about it, I never talked about the box. I don't exactly remember what Doctor Strange called it, but it was a box that contained the spell that actually would reverse everything, and they had to carry it around pretty much the entire movie, so that way the villains couldn't get it to return back to their world or break the thing entirely. And now I guess let's talk about the different Spider-Man suits that we've got so far. So we've got the upgraded suit, the black and gold suit, as well as the integrated suit, and they all kind of have their own parts in the film. With this one here pretty much just being whenever he flies around, you do see the kind of like spider web wings underneath, and I didn't actually know that it was called the upgraded suit, but I guess it makes sense because he can kind of glide with it. And then this one here, it's kind of interesting because I thought this was going to be like another suit that he gets in the film, but it's actually because he got a bunch of like green paint on his suit, so when he tried to scrub it off, it made it black and gold like this and actually like knocked the red off of it, so it was kind of interesting how it came into play. And then guys, the last one that we've got here is the Spider-Man integrated suit, and this is actually a really nice figure because a lot of things are going on here, and now that I've seen the film, I can totally tell what's going on. And this is definitely an interesting one because you can see that this has a lot of Doctor Strange technology put into it, and I really do like that they kind of like hinted at it without telling us what it was. I thought it was pretty neat. And it's kind of funny guys because I'm looking on the back of the box, and this was one of the first 3 figures that they announced, and if you guys see on the back here, they didn't have MJ or Ned, when I feel like those ones probably would have been better to do first because the integrated suit isn't really a spoiler, but it does give away a little bit of the film. Because if you were to take a look at the back of Ned's box, for example, you can see the upgraded suit as well as Ned and MJ, and I feel like the upgraded suit gives away a lot less than the integrated one, but hey, what do I know? And now that we've gone through all of the figures that Funko has officially announced, I've got a list here of ones that I want to see in the future, and I think there are some pretty good ones here. The first one, of course, being all of the villains. So Lizard, Electro, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, and Green Goblin, and I feel like they could do a couple different variants for every single one of them. Like, for example, with Dr. Octopus, when he actually gets some of the upgraded suit onto him, and then Spider-Man can control him, it would look pretty neat. And then the next one that I've got here is all of the Spider-Man, and I think it'd be really cool if maybe they did it very similar to the Force Ghost 3-pack that they just released a little while ago, where all 3 of them are together, and maybe they could even do them unmasked. It looked pretty sick. And then this next one that I've got here is kind of an interesting one. So if you guys haven't seen, Funko's been doing a lot of sets where like all of the characters connect together to make one big figure, and I think something kind of cool would be the villains locked in their cells. And I haven't talked about this yet, but what it is it's kind of like Doctor Strange puts them inside of these cells that they can't get out of, so that way they don't like wreak havoc on the city, and I think it'd be really neat because they were kind of in like almost like a half crescent circle, so I think it'd be really cool to have like all of them, and then maybe you could do like Ned and MJ on the computer in the middle. It'd be pretty cool. And then the next one that I've got here is some sort of moment in the movie, and I think it'd be really cool to have all 3 Spider-Men maybe on top of the Statue of Liberty with the Captain America shield. That would be pretty sick. Or maybe if they did like them battling some of the villains, it would just be a lot of characters at once, so I don't know how they would do it, but I feel like 3 of them just as Spider-Man could be doable. And then the other ones that I've got here is another Doctor Strange. I don't really know what they would do, but the only one that we've got is him with a shovel and jacket, so I feel like they could do something a little bit cooler. And then we've got Wong, and he isn't in the movie for too long, but I think it'd be really cool if they made him maybe like walking out of one of like the portals. It could be neat. And then the last one that I've got here, which is kind of an interesting one, is Matt Murdock, or Daredevil. He was in the movie for like, I want to say not even 2 minutes, but I do think it'd be really funny if they did make a figure for him in this line. And it is kind of funny because the entire crowd cheered when he showed up on screen, and he's literally in it for like 2 minutes and doesn't really have a huge role, but I do like that they put him in the film. And well, anyways guys, there you go. That is everything for today, and let me know in the comment section below, have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home, or maybe you're going to see it this weekend, and I apologize for all the spoilers, but I did give you a warning, so you can't get mad at me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see more from me in the future, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. But this has been another episode of Top Pops. Popsters, thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.
Drippin' like a school. On a forward school. Baby gonna screw. She funny with it. Cool. 5-4 thump. I'm a hump on a bounce, Jack and Jill up a hill. Baby tryna get a meal. Mary had a little lamb, I really do not fuck with. And she calling me the muffin man. I surely like the muffin top. Slow, like my lashes.